The Dream Continues section of the Hall of History was created for our centennial. And back here we have displays on each one of our directors. And one of them is Father Robert Hupp. And Father Robert Hupp became director in 1973 after Monsignor Wegner retired. And he's the one who brought the current program to Boys Town. He brought in research firms, said, what can we do to upgrade our village? They came back and said, you're so out of date, your program should actually be ended. Well, he decided to create a new program at Boys Town called the Family Home Program, which he discovered at the University of Kansas. And that's still the basis of the program here at Boys Town today. He also brought young ladies here to the village in 1979 and generally modernized the Boys Town program. His successor, Father Val Peter, is the one that took our Boys Town programs across the United States. He believed in expanding the programs to different communities that needed our help and began to set up those sites across the country. And then strategic planning was very important to Father Peter too, as we prepared to move Boys Town to the next century as the years got closer to our centennial. And our current director, Father Bays, brought our new Boys Town program we have today and how we are treating children and families across the United States through unique programming. And this is the exhibit right over here dealing with Father Bays and our current programs today at Boys Town. In 2005, Father Stephen Bays became the director of Boys Town, and he began the concept of community programming. And today we serve over 2 million children and families every year through our Boys Town programs. And over 90% of the children that we do serve remain in their homes. We either come to their community, their school, or work with their parents. And it's a very unique program that actually Father Flanagan advocated. He said, take children, go to their community, and work with them right there in their community based on technology developed here in the village of Boys Town. Boys Town had began national programs again back in the 1980s. Today we have programs that stretch from New England to Nevada, and at these sites we have a variety of programs based on the children's needs and the community's needs. And then we also have our national hotline in the village, taking thousands of calls every week from children and families across America needing assistance. And combined, Boys Town touches the lives of over 2 million children and families every year through our Boys Town programming. Back in the early 1970s, Dr. Patrick Brookgauser helped to found the Boys Town National Research Hospital. Now was created to work with children with communication disorders. A lot of the work on the cochlear implant was done at the hospital back at that time. It soon evolved into working with children with pediatric care, and now is working on neurobehavioral research, working with children with extreme behavioral problems, trying to help those boys and girls. It's cutting-edge technology and research, and that's exactly what Father Flanagan advocated. He wanted Boys Town to be carrying on that idea because Father Flanagan believed in research and technology, so we carry that dream on today of Father Flanagan of helping children and families in new, unique ways. Our exhibit section, What Happens at Boys Town, describes how our boys and girls live today in the village of Boys Town. It talks about the traditional educational program we have, the ROTC program, our career advancement programs we're working on with the boys and girls, our sports programs, the arts programs, and how they live in their houses here at Boys Town. Because many of our boys and girls come to us, they maybe have never had a birthday or celebrated a holiday before. So at Boys Town, we go full out with holidays, birthdays, special events, so they learn what it's like to live in a family setting and how a family operates. And at the same time, we're working on the problems why they came to live with us today. And the average stay for our boys and girls today is about 18 months. Some are longer, some are shorter, because every case is different how boys and girls come to us and when they go back home again to their families or their guardians. But it's a program that Father Flanagan would have loved, and we continue this program serving these children with special needs here in the village of Boys Town. The village of Boys Town is a National Historic Landmark District. We're the only one in the state of Nebraska. And it shows our importance to just not the United States, but also around the world too, of children and families we've impacted. For our special centennial in 2017, we had coins created, and we have the bill signed by President Obama authorizing the coins and actually display on the coins. Throughout our centennial year, we did a month-long event every month. We did different special events taking place, all recognizing Boys Town turning 100 years old. And in the display at the Hall of History, we have our special area called our Father Flanagan Award. This was created in the 1970s to recognize individuals who've really reached out to help children in special ways. Our first recipient was Mrs. Spencer Tracy, because she created the John Tracy Center in California for children with Usher syndrome. Other recipients have been Bob Hope, Danny Thomas, and St. Teresa, who came to the village in 1976 to receive the award. We don't give it out every year. We only give it out when someone we feel has done something to impact the lives of children is important. Then we'll recognize that individual. In 2017, for our centennial, the Boys Town Mothers Guild created this special quilt. It took them several years to create, and it tells the history of Boys Town from Overlook Farm to children entering our village of Boys Town today. It's a special piece of artwork they created for the children of Boys Town, and we have it on display in our Hall of History in our special exhibits section dealing with their centennial. And now we can step into the back of our museum and we'll see a special display area we have on our past directors of Boys Town.